it won't work if you make the same mistakes that I have. And the main mistakes that I have made are impatience and immaturity. Impatience, which is not judging that as a good or a bad trait, but impatience in, chasing money, looking for adulation, looking for feedback in business, that's an impatient trait. And immaturity is not sticking to the plan or thinking you know better than people who've, put a lot of steps in front of you. I've ignored and fought against more advice from my mentors along the way than I have actually executed. Yet the ROI from the advice from my mentors along the way that I've executed on has been extremely high. And for context, my very first, e-commerce engine, I came out of one-to-one consulting on Mr. Sam Ovens' advice. He told me to package my knowledge into a program. I sold it for $4,500, and in 13 months, we did just over $1 million in revenue at a very, very healthy profit margin. So my very first success was down to luck, which is good timing, which is I met the right person at the right time, and the right thing came out at the right time, which was Facebook ads were easy, cheap, and a blue ocean. So you could get calls for $50, you get on the phone and the maths worked, and then it worked. Then my second one was a little bit more nuanced when I had all these people, predominantly in New Zealand, who said, okay, you're selling a really expensive program on over the telephone to people who've never met you before. Can you teach me how to do that? I said yes, and then Authority Architecture was born, which as we moved towards the kind of professional services space, the coach consulting, I'm an expert space wasn't really a thing. Again, I was early, I was lucky, I had a great niche, which is I'm in New Zealand, Kiwis and Aussies and a lot of Europeans were being turned off by, American friends, the Americanization of, the online education industry. And the third one, which is each time we've crossed $1 million in product sales for a particular product, they've been for different reasons. The third one was because of the energy of the last two, which gets me to the point of why I started this, which is you will never, ever, ever regret building an audience. So over the past couple of months, I've been a lot quieter than I normally am because we've been building out the next phase, the next iteration of what we're doing in our business. We're going deeper into software, into human help for people. So we've got a team of VAs now in the Philippines and a great partner there who's helping us give human help to our clients to let them go further and faster. But you don't need those things. So I'm going to come back to the beginning. I mean, there's four key phases of selling and delivering. There's attraction, there's nurture, there's conversion, and there's delivery. The reason that I can take the time to build what we're building nowadays is because I have an audience. I have tens of thousands of people on email list. I have thousands of people in a Facebook group. I have the energy around that, which is, a reputation or a brand, whatever you want to call it. And those things. So when I launch something these days, I'm pretty confident that it's going to, bear fruit pretty quickly. So if I was get to the point, James, you're rambling on. If I was to start again, what would I do? To get from zero to, Dan Bolt and I regularly kind of debate this, zero to about $30,000 a month, I would make a hyper valuable lead magnet. So I would package up my knowledge into a framework. I would write a 10 to 20 page document around that walk people through something that was helpful to them. I would, if I didn't have any money for ads, I would reach out to 50 people a day on Facebook and 50 people a day on LinkedIn. And I would say, I have started a group for the niche in your category. And I've got this hyper valuable document and I want it to give it to you and it's over there, and I'll build a Facebook group. That's how I would attract people. I wouldn't sleep on LinkedIn. I think if you do it well, it is a blue ocean. And if you do it well and you aren't selling SEO and other spammy services that are just terribly bastardized, you will get traction there very, very quickly. The people we see using LinkedIn well are getting traction really, really quickly and organic without spending a single dollar. In brackets, I would subscribe to what Alex Hormozi talks about, which is, doing the reps. If you're not going to do the 100 reps a day, you're not going to reach out to 50 people on both channels, and you've got dollars, I'd use $100 to do the reps for you. So it's 100 outreaches or $100. The caveat being you need cash flow to do that, and the caveat being you need to know how to run ads and you need to know how to get a decent ROI out of them. So you should seek counsel on that, and you should get someone to help you who knows what they're doing. That is easy to seek out there. Look at Jason Hornung, look at anybody, just copy something and spend a little bit and test it and work it out. So I grow a Facebook group. I would reach out to every single one of those people and offer to get on a call with them. Not in the I'm going to give you a strategy session way, is like actually be useful to them over a 30 or 45 minute time span. Get them on a call, solve something and sell something. You should have something to sell from day one. I do not believe in working for free. Again, the context is I work with really, really experienced people that have a whole ton of value that they've built up over years and years, and not one single one of those people should ever work for free. Again, there are exceptions to that, but they're very, very, very rare. Unless you're burning something down and you want to start in a brand new industry and you're prepared to be an apprentice for a while. I would have a $2,000 to $5,000 program. It doesn't matter what's in it. In the sense of, you do not need to start with all group, coming to a group call, videos, fancy training online. You should give people what they need. If that requires you doing a 90-day program where you get, with them one-on-one every single week, then do that to work it out. You will get more leverage as you go along. This is often misunderstood in the building of things. Everyone wants to launch a course tomorrow and just sit back on the beach and sell this thing over and over again, and not give a shit about the results they get, even though they've never delivered a course before, and they just want to, watch the videos and everything will be fine, and then just do the work, and if you don't, then it's your fault. It don't work like that. You've got to lean in pretty hard. I would not... I'll get to the point again. I'll recalibrate again. If you need to do one-on-one, do so. Definitely put all your clients in a group and let them connect together. Your clients connecting with each other is just as valuable as them connecting with you. Put them in a Facebook group, get on group calls. If you need to offer one-on-one, do that. If you need to offer services, as in do the heavy lifting for some of them, if it's technical or anything like that, do that as well. Get a freelancer, get a contractor to do it, or do it yourself. A $2,000 to $5,000 program with at least 80% profit margin. So, reaching out to 100 people or running $100 a day worth of ads, putting them in a Facebook group, reaching out to every single person, getting them on a call, and selling them a $2,000 to $5,000 program that gets them a result at the end of it. That will get you to $30,000 a month very, very simply. That should happen within 90 to 120 days, as long as you don't, where people go wrong is choosing the category and choosing the niche, or not choosing those things and not focusing. Then in phase 2, where you would start be running ads and start to scale that up. So you scale up with the same product. You can easily get double that just from starting to use paid traffic. Again, I'd make sure you focus on a primary channel, whether that be Facebook, but standing up a secondary channel. I think the most dangerous number in most people's businesses that I see is 1. So many people got wiped out last year because they were solely dependent on Facebook ads. I get it that you want to focus on one and develop it, and that's great, but a little bit of channel diversification so you can spin something up, 80-20ing it is very, very healthy, because more businesses fail because of the rule of one. The more businesses fail from lack of focus. So I'd start to scale that up and get leverage from ads, and then I would start to get more leverage in your delivery. So that is less of you in the delivery. If you've got the one-on-one pieces and you've really mastered the group and the leverage delivery, remove the one-on-one while maintaining the pricing at that $2,000 to $5,000 range. So this is your income and your revenue is going up. You're building in a few more costs because you might need to hire some people to deliver and you might need to spend a little bit more money on ads, but your time is coming back. In the next phase, I would focus on the back end. Say you've got a $5,000 90-day program. I would be getting people to the end of that and saying, what ongoing support do they need? What do they need to do next? If you look at the customer journey, what have they just got done? And what do they want to get done over the next 12 months? This is going from the front end to the back end. So you're giving them ongoing support, you're giving them ongoing delivery, and then you're giving yourself recurring revenue and some stability. My biggest mistake was not doing that much earlier, and not Dan Kennedy, I think, said this as well, as his biggest mistake was not building continuity and recurring revenue as early as possible. Early as possible doesn't necessarily mean day one. I think you can go a lot further and faster by stacking profitability and then giving yourself space to build the back end. Then I would look at what you can do to further enhance lifetime value. You've got the attraction and the conversion, you've got the front end acquisition going, your product range is starting to get a little bit bigger, not too big. But then I'll give a practical example now. One of the major things I've noticed for years is clients' time. So I wanted to, and I should have done this a couple of years ago, start hiring, helping our clients hire that person, because I always saw that barrier was the hardest one to jump over. We're early days, but the return that we're seeing with hiring VAs and hiring help with and for people is massive, because we're getting the client's time back, which they can leverage even more, and paying someone a great wage for them, which is a very low wage for you, is the fastest route to ROI. So how we're solving this is by giving our clients more help and more heavy lifting, by delivering more services, by shortly giving them software and hiring them VAs. So in the process, you've built up an audience, you've built up profitability, and now you're looking to enhance that kind of lifetime value of the people within it. The Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans, I think, is one of the simplest, most elegant things to think about right now if you don't have an audience. With the ability now to reach and serve, get 1,000 people and turn 10% of those people into clients if you've got something great, is just unrivaled. Yeah, it's a bit of a moving target with Facebook changes and platform changes, and there'll be the next version of Facebook groups. I think Telegram and those things are showing huge potential as ways to build an audience, build a tribe, and ultimately have places where you can touch and contact people every single day. But when you have an audience, it makes you confident, I guess. I'm investing heavily right now and build something that I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know. I know it's going to be good one day. I know it's pretty good now, but I don't know if it's going to work. But because I have an audience, because I have clients, because I have ways to test it out right now, it allows me to invest in something heavily with just the hope of return. And that's, that's the nature of entrepreneurship. That's the nature of building something. There are no guarantees. There are no, all bets are off. But when you have an audience, when you have reach, when you have people who will, trust you to work it out, we have, so blessed with our clients because they'll basically let us experiment on them. And, it's a good deal because we're working it out. They're working it out. We're getting better. We lean into it harder. And over the long term, you reward those things. When we release our platform, I'll heavily reward the first 100 people who come on board to it, because it's a good deal for everybody. It's a great exchange. Like, I'll build this thing around you, and you don't pay very much money at all to be in there, and I'll massively over deliver on it, and in exchange for that you get something for life which other people are going to have to invest significantly more of as we go down the track. So shall I summarize? I mean, we're past 15 minutes, but that's epic even for my rambles. Summary is build an audience. You don't need money or anything straight away. You just need to be useful and valuable to people. 80-20 your acquisition. So have a primary platform and a secondary platform. I think if you're all in on one thing and you've only mastered one single thing, I think you're massively at risk. And remember the context, I'm a bit of an old dog in the business game, so I've seen lots of people go belly up when their single point of failure failed. Secondly, you can go a very, very long way on one product for one person doing one thing over one time period. And thirdly, over the long term, building a great audience and building very strong lifetime value with your client base is the thing that's going to make you wealthy, and the thing that's going to make you valuable, and the thing that's going to give you lots of options. I've had the luxury of time this year to build something which is for the next phase, which is hard but fun, right? So why didn't I say 0 to 12 months? Because that's what all the ads say, right? Can you build $1 million business in 12 months? Yep. I did it. I've seen it. I've seen it recently. We had 2 clients do that last year. And under 12 months, they went from a standing start with a brand new thing, no assets, to $1 million. I don't think it's optimal. I don't think the human or the humans inside it can adapt fast enough to the things that happen when you grow a business really, really, really rapidly. This is not the cool thing to say, I know. I know the cool thing is to say that, you can make $1 million tomorrow. And flipping out, people do. The leverage of the internet is ridiculous that what is possible. But the reality is I don't feel it's optimal. I don't feel that growing something hyper quickly allows you to build a strong enough base inside a business and strong enough base inside as a person. The problems that me going from pretty much struggling from an economic sense and a money sense to what the fuck do I do with it, were very extreme. They amplified all the weaknesses in my psyche and my personality and my history and my self-worth and all those things that slowed me down for the next phase. So I feel, and this is, from a human point of view, that it's actually optimal to grow slowly, because slow growth tends to be held onto in a much more healthy way, and more healthy decisions are made for the business and more healthy decisions are made for the human. The out and out, need for speed and the chase for many people is the thing that puts them out of the game quicker. And, the number one thing I've learned about business is staying in the fucking game is the game. For all my faults and all my foibles and all my, personal struggles, which are, sometimes extreme and frequent, my sheer bloody mindedness and stubbornness of staying in the game is the thing that has kind of kept me going and kept me alive and will continue to do, because I'm just more flippin' stubborn than many other people who give up and go back to things. That's it. So staying in the game is the game. And that's why, I try my best to get our clients early on to focus on kind of profits and time, to give them that space and give them the healthy decision making, because rapid snap decisions make you look good and those things, but slow, methodical, well-considered ones are often the ones that keep people sustained for a much longer period of time. I told you it's going to be long. We're past 20 minutes. It's a wonderful time to be alive. It's a wonderful time to be in business. It's a wonderful time to have knowledge. And understand this, you can turn anything into a business these days. Business is just a value delivery vehicle. And that's all. If you can solve a problem for yourself or you can solve something for other people, you can have a business today. You can start a Facebook group, put some valuable stuff out there, make it useful, and find people who have enough of those problems to justify investing against, solving them. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, but it should be simple. It should be simple, and I'm continuing to try to learn that lesson, as you probably do. I have an addiction to complicating the shit out of things that is something that's a decade-long process of working it out. So, should I summarize again after 4 minutes after I said I was going to summarize? Build an audience, be useful to people, have real conversations with real humans, find their problems and solve them and get paid for it. Sexy, eh? And then give yourself some time and space to work out what the next leg up. I'm scared and excited about the next leg up. I'm scared and excited about what we're doing with virtual assistants and airdropping help into people's business. I'm scared and excited about the software we're building and the things we're doing, but I'm scared and excited inside the game from the marketplace of seeing all the problems of having 7,162 people have invested money with us in different capacities, from $5.50 to a book up to 150 grand. So I'm doing it from inside the arena, and that's the best place to do it. So I hope you took something from this. Just one thing. If you took one thing, comment below. I'd appreciate it. Told you it was